investment banking.
Now, I'm going to give you a fun model to look at creating your own life. On one dimension, we have positive, negative, and the other is what I want to change and what I want to keep. The first part is positive change. This is called creating. So as you wander through life, think about that new person you want to create. Who is this person? Positive keep is called preserving. What is it about your life you want to preserve, protect, maintain? Negative change is called eliminating. What is it in life you want to get rid of? And then finally, negative keep is called accepting. What is it out there that I may not love it? You know what? I'm not going to change it anyway. Just let it go. So as you go through life, by the way, I love this model. You can use it with your business. Our business, what do we want to create? What do we need to preserve? What do we need to eliminate? What do we need to accept? You can use it with yourself. You can use it with your teams. Now, let's get started. Getting started, the first box we're going to look at is creating, and we're going to talk about you looking at your own life. Who is the you that you want to create? Who is this new person? Well, as we wander through life, we often put ourselves in a box. We all have an identity, and we have a tendency not to change because we think, well, if I tried to be somebody else, it wouldn't be me. I'd be a hypocrite or a phony. I want to give you a different way to look at your identity. Where's your identity come from? First, our remembered identity. You think you're a bad tennis player. How do you know? You have memories. These memories of losing tennis matches shape your identity. Reflected identity, what other people tell us about ourselves. Somebody said, you think you're a bad listener. How do you know? Somebody told you you're a bad listener. These things became our memory. An important part, though, is our programmed identity. We have all been programmed to believe we're a certain person. A lot of times this starts almost from birth, and these programs dramatically influence our lives. One night I got to have dinner with the rock star Bono. How many of you know Bono, the rock star? I didn't know any of his music because it was recorded after 1975. So, you know, I didn't know his music, but he talked about his identity. The first part of his identity was regular guy, and he's still very much a regular guy, not pretentious or pompous. He used the F word about every third word when we were talking. He apologized, said, I'm sorry, sir, I shouldn't use such bad language. I said, I'm from Valley Station, Kentucky. I thought the F word was the adjective that preceded all nouns. So, well, he's still a regular guy. Then he became a rock and roll fan, and he's still a fan. He talked about groups he liked, his eyes get all light up. Then he became a musician. He's still a musician, but not just to make money. He talked about his family. Then he became a rock star. He talked about life as a rock star. Now he's a humanitarian. He's not a fake humanitarian or pretend to be a humanitarian. He's a real humanitarian. A lot of his life is trying to do good deeds. He said it was very hard for him to be a humanitarian. He just got crapped on by so many people. Why? You're some shallow rock star. What do you know about this stuff? His own band people even didn't support him. Well, finally he just said, to heck with it. If I want to try to help others, I don't need to apologize for this. Well, it's the same for you. The other thing is, you can learn from this little story, the people around us tend to keep us as we are. They tend to see us in a certain way. They tend to keep us in that certain way. And sometimes it's just good to look in that mirror and say, who is this new person I want to become? I don't have to just repeat who I've been over and over and over again through life. Now, the next part of our little model is preserving. What is it in life you want to keep? And a good way to ask yourself this is, who do I need to thank? So many people had been nice to me that I didn't thank, and I was really focused on creating the new. I wasn't focused enough on preserving what was important in my life. A little learning for all you entrepreneurs, don't get so busy climbing up that ladder for that next buck and achievement and everything, you forget about the people that love you. It's very easy to do that. That's a big mistake. Also, what is it you need to get rid of? And sometimes we just want to create more and more and more. Here's the point. You cannot have creating without eliminating. You cannot have creating without eliminating. One of the biggest challenges of company, Kodak, what happened? They couldn't get rid of what they had. If you can't eliminate, you can't create. Well, a good thing to look at life is not just to say, what do I want to create? What do I need to get rid of? What do I need to unload in my journey through life? Because no elimination, it gets very hard to create. And then finally, what do you need to accept? I'm going to give you a very simple technique. This technique is going to save you a lot of time in life. If you just do this one thing before you deal with any topic, breathe. Do this again. Breathe, hand, breathe. And ask yourself one question. Am I willing at this time to make the investment required to make a positive difference on this topic? Am I willing at this time to make the investment required to make a positive difference on this topic? If the answer is no, take a deep breath and let it go. Let it go. Change what you can change. Make peace with what you cannot change. Peter Drucker taught me a wonderful lesson in life. Our mission in life is to make a positive difference, not to prove we're smart and not to prove we're right. We get so lost proving we're smart and right, we forget to make a positive difference. You have a hard day at work, a hard day, under so much pressure, push, more. You go home, your husband, wife, friend, or partner's there, and the other person says, I had such a hard day, I had such a tough day. And we reply, you had a hard day. You had a hard day. Do you have any idea what I had to put up with today? Do you think you had a hard day? We are so competitive, we have to prove we are more miserable than the people we live with. I gave this example to my class at the Dartmouth Tuck School. A young man in the back raised his hand. He said, I did that last week. I asked him what happened. He said, my wife looked at me. She said, honey, you just think you had a hard day. It's not over.